You ever trusted someone so completely that you couldn't imagine life without them? And then one day, you wake up and realize that same person has been sharpening the knife that's now buried in your back? My name is Jason Cole, and this is not just a story. It's my confession. It's the nightmarish path I walked from blind loyalty to cold-blooded revenge. And if you stick with me, you'll see just how far betrayal can push a man. I was raised in a small town in Ohio, where everybody knew everybody. My mom worked 2 jobs just to keep the lights on, while my dad left before I was old enough to understand what leaving meant. I grew up fast, learned that in a world where money was short and love was fragile, loyalty was the only thing worth holding on to. That's why when I met Ryan Miller in high school, he felt like a brother. Ryan was bold, charming, the kind of guy who could talk his way out of anything. Me? I was quiet, a planner, someone who thought 5 steps ahead. Together, we balanced each other out. We made a pact before graduation. We'd rise together or not at all. After college, we moved to Chicago. Life wasn't easy, but we hustled. Ryan had the silver tongue, I had the discipline. We started a construction company, Cole & Miller Development. Small projects turned into bigger ones, and soon we were pulling contracts that had our names on billboards. It felt like everything we'd dreamed about back in high school was coming true. Ryan stood on stages, shaking hands with investors, while I stayed behind the scenes making sure every screw was tightened, every contract airtight, and through it all, I believed in one unshakable truth. Ryan was my brother. Betrayal doesn't hit like a hammer. It seeps in like poison. I first noticed the cracks when numbers in our accounts didn't line up. Materials were ordered that we didn't need. Payments were made to subcontractors I'd never heard of. When I asked Ryan, he brushed it off with that same smile he used on investors. Just business, Jason. Don't stress. I wanted to believe him. God, I needed to believe him. Because Ryan wasn't just my partner, he was family. And family doesn't betray you. Or so I thought. The truth came crashing down one night when I got a call from our banker. He said I needed to come in, alone. When I arrived, he laid out folders across the desk. Loans I didn't authorize. Signatures that looked like mine but weren't. Shell companies draining funds from our business, all tied back to Ryan, and as if that wasn't enough, the banker leaned in and whispered words that froze me in place. Jason, Ryan's been working with people you don't want to cross. You're the one holding the debt. If this blows up, it's you who'll burn. I walked out of that office numb, my life collapsing under the weight of betrayal. I confronted Ryan the next day. He laughed in my face. You're too soft, Jason. That's why I did what I did. I made us untouchable, but I wasn't untouchable. I was drowning. He had tied everything to my name. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized he hadn't just stolen money. He'd stolen my life. That night, lying awake in the silence of my apartment, I felt something inside me shift. The Jason Cole who believed in loyalty died. What rose in his place was a man fueled by one thing. Revenge. Revenge isn't rage. Rage burns too fast. Revenge is patience. I spent months gathering evidence. Bank statements, recordings of Ryan's late-night calls, photos of him meeting shady partners in dim-lit bars. I didn't just want to bring him down legally. I wanted to destroy him piece by piece, the same way he had dismantled me. I started small. Anonymous tips to his investors. Subtle delays in projects that made him look incompetent. Quiet whispers that spread through the industry like wildfire. Ryan Miller can't be trusted. Every day, I watched him unravel a little more. Ryan's weakness was always his ego. He couldn't resist attention. So I crafted a deal too good for him to ignore, an anonymous investor offering millions for a partnership. He bit. Hard. We arranged to meet in a warehouse, one of our old properties. But when Ryan walked in, expecting investors, he found me. I can still see the look on his face, that mix of arrogance and sudden fear. You? He sneered. You think you can play this game? I dropped a folder on the table. It's not a game, Ryan. It's your life. Every forged signature, every stolen dollar, every deal you made with criminals, it's all here. And copies? They're already out there. For the first time, I saw Ryan lose control. His hands shook. His mouth opened, but no words came. Within weeks, Ryan's empire crumbled. Investors vanished. Clients cut ties. And the men he'd been laundering money for? They discovered the truth. Ryan went on the run. Some said he left the country. Others said he was taken care of. Me? I didn't care. Because in the end, it wasn't about where he went. It was about what he lost. Everything. People ask if revenge is worth it. If the sleepless nights, the lies, the waiting, it's all worth it. I tell them this. Revenge doesn't give you peace. It doesn't heal the wounds, but it gives you balance. It evens the scales, and sometimes that's enough. Now I live a quieter life. Smaller jobs. No skyscrapers, no flashy contracts. Just honest work. But every time I pass a half-finished building Ryan once bragged about, I remember the lesson carved into my soul. Trust is fragile. Once broken, it can never be rebuilt. And for some, betrayal isn't the end. It's just the beginning of revenge.